In 2005, when I was chair of the National Committee on Soil and Terrain, I started a debate: where is Australia's whitest beach? This was a diversion from the committee's normal business of looking at the sustainable management of Australia's soils, but it led down a path I hadn't expected. What began as a bit of after-hours banter became a serious look across Australia in search of our whitest beaches. New South Wales had already laid claim to the title, arguing that Hiam's beach at Jervis Bay has the whitest sand in the world, purportedly backed up by Guinness World Records. As it turned out, both claims were false. Guinness World Records has no such category, and the whitest beach, as we found, is actually elsewhere. So we drafted terms of reference, and the search for Australia's whitest beach began. Over the next year, samples were collected across the nation. The criteria were simple: samples had to be taken from the swash zone, the gently sloping area between the water and the dunes, and the samples could not be treated in any way apart from air drying. No bleaching, no sieving out of impurities. Marine environment only. The results of the first judging in 2006 were startling. Of all the states and territories, the much promoted Hiams Beach in New South Wales came in fourth. Third was Victoria, second Queensland, and first Western Australia. The other states and territories came in at Tasmania 5th, Northern Territory 6th, and South Australia 7th. The Act didn't have a beach to sample, although technically some of the Commonwealth lands around our coasts could possibly come in under their banner, but that's another debate altogether. The winning beach was Lucky Bay in Cape Le Grand National Park on Western Australia's south coast, but in reality any of the beaches in this area could have been winners. Hellfire Bay, Thistle Cove and Wharton's Beach, just to name a few, are all magnificently white. A quick qualification here: the southwestern end of Lucky Bay, where many people enter the beach, is covered with seaweed, not the whitest bit. I should also note that all of the finalists in the Whitest Beach Challenge were in their own right fabulously white. But when compared side by side, some beaches are clearly whiter than others. The Queensland team felt aggrieved, so in 2007 I carried out a repechage with new samples from Queensland at Whitehaven Beach in the Whitsundays, and Lake Mackenzie on Fraser Island. Lake Mackenzie was ultimately disallowed as it is a freshwater lake and the rules stipulated a marine environment. Meanwhile, Whitehaven didn't quite cut the mustard in the judging, and Lucky Bay in Western Australia was again the winner. So what makes a beach white, and is it important anyway? The assessments were based on a visual comparison, so to remove any possible visual bias after the 2007 challenge, all the samples were scanned for their reflectance, how much light bounced off the sand, essentially, in the visible and infrared wavelengths. Our assumption was that higher reflectance throughout the visual spectrum correlates with greater whiteness. As it turned out, the results from the scanning exactly correlated with the visual assessments.